ever being in relegation trouble. They've won the Europa League countless times. They're always in European competition and are one of the better performers in La Liga, so it's so rare to see them have such a poor season this time out. But Sociedad, as I said, they know they've got a job to do themselves. They want to be in a European competition next season. They've won the Copa del Rey. They can certainly match up that wonderful cup run with a very strong league finish, which would only reflect just how well Pellegrino Matarazzo has done with his side this season. As the man in the middle, Juan Martinez, the referee, in his red and black, so he definitely fits in with the Sevilla crowd, that's for certain, wearing his red and white shirt. So maybe there could be a little hint of something in that there if you're thinking about it a little bit cynically, but it's just the colours chosen, which is perhaps quite surprising when you think about how referees usually, they're not meant to have kits that clash with either of the teams. Real Sociedad haven't been able to wear their classic blue and white stripes tonight. They've opted for their away kit. It's a bit more of just a dark grey. It's quite a miserable looking kit, in all honesty. It doesn't reflect the gorgeous sunshine that is here in Seville tonight, as there's going to be a moment of remembrance just before the kick-off here. Every single player is stood arm in arm with one another from both teams on the halfway line. Looks like it's for a former player, as there's a Sevilla shirt with San Jose on the back with the number 3. A really touching tribute here from both sets of fans. As that moment of remembrance is over, we are already 2 minutes past the scheduled kick-off of 8 o'clock, so albeit games, they very rarely kick off on time these days, don't they? It's almost a complete rarity to see a game kick off exactly as to when it's scheduled to be, but with a moment of remembrance like that, then you don't need to worry about what kick-off time is. That is way more important than when you're starting a football match. As both sets of teams now, they've gone into their respective halves. The captains are just around all their teammates, leading the pre-match huddle. The captain of Sociedad, Mikel Oyarzabal, he's got all of his teammates around him. He's just giving them those last few instructions before we kick off at Estadio Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan, as it looks as if the side who will be getting us underway is going to be Sociedad in their grey kit. It's very, very grey indeed. It's almost a dark grey along all the shirt, and then a lighter trim of grey just along the sleeves. Sevilla, classic red and white, mainly a white shirt with a red trim down each sleeve and a red collar as well, as it will be Sociedad to get us underway. They're going to be kicking from right to left as I see it. We await the referee, Luis Garcia, to blow his whistle. He does, and Sociedad get us underway in the only game in La Liga tonight, the game in hand for both of these sides on match day 34. Can Sevilla get out of the bottom 3 in La Liga, or will Sociedad condemn them to even more woes as they stare down the barrel of relegation to the Spanish second tier and put themselves just 1 point off a Europa Conference League place in La Liga this season? They've already won the Copa del Rey. They've had a good season regardless of what happens for the rest of it. But to finish in the top 6 would just be the icing on the cake. All the Sevilla fans already, red and white scarves being just waved all over the ground. There's young Sevilla fans, can see them just kissing the badge on their Sevilla shirts. That's just how much this club means to all these supporters. We've got a free kick here. Soler for Sociedad is going to take it by the left-hand byline. He's whipped it into the box. It's headed away by a white shirt and is now with Ajuke trying to do some fancy footwork to get away from his marker. And he's done exactly that, but he's been pulled back. The referee is going to award the foul there on Ajuke. There's a couple red and white balloons have made their way onto the pitch as well, and you wouldn't think Sevilla, with this sort of backing, were a team that are in the bottom 3, but the supporters very much giving their support when it's needed most. They're in fine voice here, the Sevilla fans. Every single fan is wearing a replica shirt. You can see just how important this football club is to the people of Seville. There's good defending from Suazo down the right-hand side, level with his own penalty area. Just gets the foot in, and as he clears the ball away, there's a foul by Aramburu, the Sociedad fullback. So it's a free kick for Sevilla. As rather, they're just going to restart play with the free kick. They've played it short. It's gone back into their own penalty areas. Sevilla now with the goalkeeper Vlachodimos in a bright pink goalkeeper kit this evening, but that's a bit of a poor clearance away, but an excellent recovery tackle. However, here comes Sociedad, right hand side of the penalty area. As the clearance is straight at Oyarzabal. That was interesting there from Agume inside his own penalty area. Just looked to try and play a short pass rather than get the ball up and away, and very nearly cost his team there. Sevilla looking a little bit jittery at the back here. It just seem like they want to try and play out from the back, but it just seems a little bit rushed already, and that's not really what the manager Luis Garcia is going to want to be seeing when we've not even played 3 minutes of the game. It's still 0-0 though, as the long ball from Sociedad headed away by Salas of Sevilla, but they've given the ball away, and it's now down the right hand side with Baranechea. He's played it up to the edge of the penalty area for Oyarzabal. Back again with Baranechea. Tries the outside of the boot pass into the penalty area to reach Turrientes, but he's overcooked it. It's an easy one for the goalkeeper Vlachodimos to play, as he just walks with the ball in his hands. He's dropped it into the turf now, Vlachodimos, just walking to the edge of his own penalty area, taking his time here. No one in a grey shirt too interested in pressing him. He's gone long. It's in search of Romero, but it's really well dealt with by the defender Martin of Sociedad. He just was stood behind Romero and just got the right foot out, inch perfect touch to make the tackle and get the ball away. And I already mentioned that we've seen on the pitch a bit of the rolls of paper being chucked on by the Sevilla fans before the game kicked off, and that there's balloons all over the pitch. There's now white confetti just scattered all over the pitch from that pre-game display from the Sevilla fans, but there's nothing really for them to party about in the game as Sociedad try and break forward, but as Arambu tried to take it beyond the defender and just ran straight into Suazo, and Ajuke able to take the ball forward a couple more yards. Sevilla now have it on the halfway line, but just a bit too of a heavy touch from Malpe. Now with Romero, he's lost the ball, he's brought down the Sociedad defender by the back of his shirt. Sevilla fans don't agree with the decision of the referee Juan Martinez, but it's really, it always looked like a foul. Romero was trying to get away from Caleta-Car, but he had a strong handful of the back of his shirt and just pulled him straight into the turf. Referee had a perfect view. He was only ever going to give a Sociedad free kick, which has been taken. They've got it back with the goalkeeper Ramiro by the edge of his own penalty area. Played short for Martin, who stops the ball under his right foot. He's had to play the ball back to the edge of his own penalty area though, and it's gone short to Caleta-Car, rolled forward to Goratxetegi, now back with Martin. Sociedad happy just to keep the ball in their own defensive third here and try and carve out any openings and force a Sociedad, or rather force a Sevilla player out of position as Ajuke tries to take the ball away from Aramburu. He's been tackled, and it must have come off Suazo last because the referee has awarded a throw-in in Sociedad's favour. They've taken it quickly, they've got it out over to the left-hand side by the corner of the penalty area. It's now back central, across out to the right-hand side, just escapes Baranechea, and that ends up dropping behind for a goal kick. The idea was there though from Soler, and just got his head up, tried to curl the ball into the penalty area, but just put a bit too much on it in search of his teammate, and just puts his hands on his hips there, maybe just out of a bit of frustration that he knows that he can do a little bit better there, but he's got plenty of time left in the game to try it again. We're only 6.5 minutes in at the Estadio Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. It's Sevilla 0, Real Sociedad 0, and Sevilla get the game restarted with the Vlachodimos goal kick. Plays it out toward the right hand side, but Sociedad able to win it back. Soler winning the header, but intercepted by Gudelj, who's got it by the byline on the right-hand side. And he set away Malpe here, looked to get put into the penalty area. Rather, it was Romero who got on the end of it, but Malpe was inside the penalty area. He was waiting for that low cross. Was a vital interception from Martin before it could reach Malpe, because he was completely free inside the penalty area if Romero's cross could find him. But Sevilla, they've got a throw in down the right hand side, level with the penalty area. We're going to see something that's become a lot more common in English football, but it seems like also in Spanish football. We're going to see a long throw in here from the right hand side for Sevilla. They've got plenty of white shirts in the penalty area. In it comes, but it's straight at the first defender. Romero heading it back though out to the right hand side. A looped cross up high. Ajuke does well to read the bounce of the ball, but just about has seen it go out of play over on the left hand side. That's going to drop behind for a throw in. He's pleading to the referee that the ball didn't go out of play. He would, in all fairness to him, Ajuke, he had a perfect view of it, but you feel even if it was over the line, then he's always going to say that it wasn't. And Sociedad get play restarted with that throw in, but they've given possession straight back to Sevilla, who have it with their goalkeeper Vlachodimos inside his own penalty area. Long ball forward from the Greek shot stopper. A header infield from the right hand side is intercepted. Sociedad in their all grey shirts, kicking from left to right, in possession with Caleta Carp. He's played it infield for Turientes, now out to the Sociedad left hand side as Goratshategi tries to get himself involved, but he ran straight into a Sevilla player, making the tackle there. It was Gudelj who did it, and that's going to go behind for the throw-in. Sociedad have been forced back into their own half. In fact, they've gone all the way back to the goalkeeper, Remiro. Plays it short for Martin over on the right-hand side. Neat little back heel from Aramburu to try and set away Baranit-Shea, but that's ended up just going out of play for a throw-in. It's taken short by Aramburu for Sociedad. He's got it back, tries to play a pass down the line, but he's given the ball away. Trying to get it infield to Romero, but he's unable to get there. And again, that's going to go out of play. Has very much been a bit of a stop-start game, this one. It remains 0-0. Neither team has really tested the opposition goalkeeper. Both defences have stood firm so far. They've been put under pressure, there's no doubt about that, but they're just coping with it fairly well. As it is Baranit-Shea, lovely footwork from him on the right-hand touchline to keep that in play and able to sprint back and make a pass. That was really, really good. What wasn't good was that crossfield pass from Martin straight at the head of a man in a white shirt, but that's gone out of play. Sociedad restart with the throw-in. They've had a lot more of the ball, Real Sociedad, in this opening 10 minutes, but they've not really been able to do much with it. They've been forced to play the ball long, and the tall centre halves of Sevilla, both Lopez and Salas, they've won pretty much every header, and even the wide defenders, Carmona and Suazo, have done well to deal with Sociedad's wide men, Marin and Baranit-Shea. They've just got the tackles in every time. They've prevented them from getting inside their penalty area. There's an evident push in the back there on the halfway line. Sevilla have got themselves a free kick, and was a little bit cheeky there from the midfield man Goratshategi, and just left both his hands in on Malpe, pushed him straight into the turf. Perhaps he's lucky he didn't get a booking as well, because he chucked the ball away to delay the restart, and the referee just let play continue and let him get away with it for now. Sevilla now have a throw-in off that resulting free kick. It's just ever so slightly to the right of where it would be level with the left corner of the Sociedad penalty area. Vargas is going to come over and take this one. He's beginning his long run up now with the ball in his hands. He makes that long run, up goes his throw into the 6-yard box. It is flicked on, but It's an easy claim for the goalkeeper, Ramiro, as Salas was forward from centre half there at the near post, won the header and was a really neat flick on, but no one in red and white was there, as Malpe's taken the ball off a defender by the edge of the penalty area. He's now played the pass out wide for Ajuke inside the box to the left of goal. Tries a cross, it's deflected. Sevilla get the first corner of the game. That's got the supporters all around the stadium up on their feet and singing, even the ones behind that goal, of which Sevilla are attacking. But that's what you want to see from your team. It was actually Romero rather than Malpe who sprinted in, took the ball off a defender and got the pass out wide. Ajuke unlucky with his cross to not get the ball into the penalty area and find someone in red and white, but took the deflection. Sevilla get the first corner of the game, and all those fans behind the goal to the left of the halfway line, red and white flags being waved wherever you look. They all just jumped up and pumped their fist after that corner was awarded. Vargas will take it from this left-hand side. He's put both arms out to his side as the signal. Played to the edge of the box. Oh, and it was a scuffed shot from Suazo, but you saw the signal there of Vargas. He just put both arms out, almost like he was making a capital letter T with his body. Played the cross just sublimely right to the edge of the penalty area, where no Sociedad player was anywhere near Gabriel Suazo, and he took a swing at it on his left foot, but he just kicked the ball into his standing leg, which is what took away the contact and saw it roll wide. But if that's a corner tactic that Sevilla maybe are going to try again in this game, and Sociedad don't expect it another time to happen, you wouldn't be surprised to maybe see them cause a bit of trouble there, or even score from it, because Suazo had a completely free shot on goal, and even you watch the trajectory of the ball, he would have had a clear alleyway for the ball to go straight through and end up, if he got it on target, it almost certainly would have ended up in the bottom right corner of Alex Ramiro's net, but just got his connection wrong, so it remains 0-0 between Sevilla and Real Sociedad, but that is the closest we've seen to an opening goal, and it's for the team who are currently 18th in the table, and they know they have to win this game to get out of the bottom three. But Sociedad know they've got to win this game to be just a point off a Conference League place, as they look to play up from the back again. But the long ball up to the halfway line is intercepted as Sevilla win it back through Vargas, but after a bit of a delay, the referee ends up giving a free kick to Sociedad for what he claims a handball. All the Sociedad players were asking for it. The referee, though, did take a little bit of time before he opted to give it, but his decision, no matter how much you disagree with it, it's not going to be reversed, as Sociedad now trying some neat passing play out from the back, as Aramburu looks to get it in field. It's now with Turrientes, who's clipped it diagonally out to the left-hand side. Heavy touch, though, from Gomez, who runs straight into a hard tackle from Carmona and just sprinted in at him and booted the ball up the pitch. It ended up being cleared out of play, though. Referee just delays play before we restart with the throw-in. Sevilla use it to go back into their own half. It's with Vlachodimos now, just walking out to the edge of his penalty area again. No Sociedad player is anywhere near him at the moment. They're happy just to let the goalkeeper have the ball and play out from the back. As Sevilla still looking to play out from the back here, as Suazo clears it long up to halfway. Neat touch from Vargas, and he's played it through to Ajuke on the left-hand side. He's up into the penalty area. Ajuke has a shot, or good save from Ramiro, and Malpe just can't get the rebound. The shot from the edge of the box, though, is blocked, and that was Agume who had the effort. It's been deflected behind for another Sevilla corner, but that looked really good there on the counter-attack from the home side. Just got from the edge of their own penalty area to the Sociedad box within two passes. Lovely long ball from Suazo up to halfway, and Vargas rather was there to get the touch in and play the pass to Ajuke. His effort was well saved by Ramiro. Malpe very unlucky to not get a touch on it as he looked to slide in, but dropped very kindly for Agume in the D, but his effort was well blocked by sliding tackle of Turrientes to deflect it behind for a corner. But Sevilla in the last 5 minutes starting to come alive. They've now had the first shot on target of the game. They've got their second corner. Can they come up with another clever little routine here and maybe open the scoring? And if they are to, take them out of the bottom three for the time being. In comes a corner from the right hand side. It's headed away by a defender. Sevilla still have it though, as they look to try and get the ball out wide to the right hand side. It's another cross into the box and an overhead kick attempted. I think it was the defender Salas who was trying it, but his overhead kick was nowhere near the intended target. Rather than Salas, it was actually Lopez who tried it, but he's just skied it well over the crossbar. As Ramiro of Sociedad, their goalkeeper, who'll get play restarted with his goal kick, as it's still goalless at Estadio Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan between Sevilla and Real Sociedad. Just 4 games to go in the La Liga season after this one, as Ramiro smashes it long, the Sociedad goalkeeper. It's the men in grey who still have possession, but won back by Ajuke, Sevilla's left-sided midfielder in this game. Goalkeeper Vlachodimos playing it short to Suazo, cleared up long by Lopez, and a really neat touch from Ajuke down on this left-hand side by the byline. He's gone up to the edge of the box, finds Vargas, who's got to play it back out wide to Ajuke. Cross into the penalty area is headed away, and there's a bit of a swing from Agume. He got his contact completely wrong though. Just, if anything, he kicked up more of the turf than the ball. That one just rolls well wide of the Sociedad goal. Was never going to trouble Alex Ramiro in between the sticks. But it's twice in a matter of as many minutes where Lucien Agume has been there on the edge of the box, getting on the end of a loose clearance, just trying his luck from the edge of the penalty area. Maybe feels that today is the day where he's going to smash one in from the edge of the box. He's just won the ball in the air to find Ajuke, but that was a really interesting choice of pass from Ajuke. He tried the outside of the boot pass, as the referee has just awarded a free kick here, and we've got the first yellow card of the game. It is a Sevilla player who's gone in the book. Looks like it's Romero who's got it, but it looked like a 50-50 challenge between himself and Turrientes as they were sliding in, but perhaps on a second look, Romero, he does lean in to him with the stud showing, and he catches him on the leg. So the first booking of the game goes to a Sevilla player. Isaac Romero is put in to the book. A couple of Sociedad players here though, they're asking the question as to if the card could potentially be a different colour for Romero, because in all fairness you can maybe see why. He did lead in with the stud showing and he caught the leg of the midfielder, but if VAR is taking a look, it was a very quick one, and their decision is it's just going to be a yellow card because the free kick has restarted play. It's 0-0 after 20 minutes between Sevilla and Real Sociedad. It has loose clearance and it's put through to Malpe in the D. Shot from long range, but he's got it wrong. He had the power but not the placement. Hit it straight down the middle of the goal. Ramiro makes quite a calm save, but he spared the blushes of his teammates there because they were looking to play out from the back, and it wasn't pretty, that's to say the least. And Malpe, a player of his calibre, you think how many goals he scored all over, especially in the Premier League for Brentford and Brighton, also in France for Marseille, but that effort was about 25 yards out. Good hit on it, but it was just straight at the goalkeeper. It was really never going to cause all too much trouble for Alex Ramiro, as Sociedad look to try and build their way forward, but they're forced to play the ball backward into their own half. It's now with Jean Martin, plays it up to the halfway line, and he's just right on the heels there was Vargas. He was like a little pit bull there, just on the Sociedad man, was straight up to him, would not leave him alone, just snapping at his ankles there, and just trying to take the ball off him, and he ended up doing so, and Sociedad forced to try and get Sevilla to play the ball all the way back to their own goalkeeper. They have gone long, Sevilla, but it's unable to reach a man in a red and white shirt. Cleared away, headed back forward into the chest of Agume, tries to get it out to the right hand side for Malpe. Agume slides in and he wins the ball, and here is Romero. He has a shot from a long way out, and he's got that completely wrong there. He had a free pass to his left hand side for Ajuke, who could have got himself up into the penalty area, but Romero, I think he just saw his name up in lights. Just after Agume won the tackle, he sprinted through down the centre. He was at least 30 yards out, took a swing at it on his left foot, but he just lifts the ball well over the crossbar, almost into the upper tier of the seating behind the goal to the left of the halfway line. And the reaction of the Sevilla fans, they weren't all too impressed there with their striker. As we're halfway through the first half now, it's still 0-0 between Sevilla and Sociedad, but here comes Sevilla with Gudelj, edge of the box, long range effort again. Ramiro able to make the save, a bit similar to the one Malpe had just a moment ago, where Gudelj was a bit further out though. He was similar distance from Romero, so about 30 yards, and just hit it low and hard, but just didn't have the placement trying to get it in either corner. Was just straight down the middle of the goal, and Ramiro was able just to get down and claim it in his gloves. As Sociedad have it now with Ramiro. He's just walking up to the edge of his penalty area, plays it out short, and there is Agume making the tackle. He's adamant that throw-in should be in his side's favour. It's been given to Sociedad. He puts his arms out in the air. The Sevilla manager, Luis Garcia, is furious with the referee. He's bouncing up and down in his technical area. He's looking at the referee, pointing his finger at him, telling him that I could see that was my side's throw-in. I don't know how you've given it the other way, but it's all been waved away. It's all calmed down now. Sociedad have another throw-in. This time it's just inside the Sevilla half, but their head coach, Pellegrino Matarazzo, he is nowhere near as animated as his counterpart Garcia. He's just stood almost with a sense of nonchalance about him. He's just stood there, arms folded. In all honesty, he doesn't look all too bothered at the moment, which is quite surprising, because his side, they've given up a fair few chances over the last 10 minutes, and it's mainly all come from being sloppy in defence and giving the ball away after a Sevilla player just sprints forward and puts the pressure on. As we're going to see a free kick here. Soler is going to take it for Sociedad. It's about halfway between the halfway line and the Sevilla penalty area. It's played out to the right hand side. Aaron Baru able to clip it in field as the referee gives a free kick, and that's because Barrenetxea of Sociedad, it feels as if he's been caught by the elbow of Gabriel Suazo, the Sevilla's wing-back, as he tried to get across into the penalty area. But there was no contact on the face. It was more Suazo. He just slid in trying to get the ball, but looked like he more caught the leg of the Sociedad man than the face. The referee was quick to give the free kick, and again the Sevilla fans just definitely making the referee Juan Martinez know that he's not exactly the most popular man in the city of Seville tonight. So another Sociedad free kick. It's on the right hand side. Again, it will be Carlos Soler to come over and take it. He's only about 15 yards from the edge of the penalty area to the right of goal. Instead, it's crossed in into the near post by the defender Gomez. It's been headed behind, and that's going to go out of play for a corner. Suazo was there bravely defending it by the edge of his own 6-yard box, and just hit him square on the face. And now Sociedad have got their first corner of the game, and it comes with 19 minutes to go of regular time in this first half, with the scoreline at 0-0. But can that change for the Copa del Rey winners? It will be Gomez to take the corner from the right hand side. He swung it into the centre of the 6-yard box. It's been headed away by a defender, but not fully cleared by Malpe. But Sevilla now have to run back to their own goal. They've now won a free kick, much to the delight of the home support. Vargas there just being hacked down by Barrenetxea. And That gets a sarcastic cheer from the Sevilla fans. Even their manager, Luis Garcia, is walking around his technical area, just almost with a look of disbelief that his side have actually been given a free kick. Here's Ajuke now. He's just inside the Sevilla half, to the right of the halfway line. He's played it all the way back to the goalkeeper, Vlachodimos. He's clipped it long and high up in the air, and there's a nasty collision there as the ball went up. The referee has sprinted over and he's shown a yellow card. I think he's also given a yellow card to the Sevilla coach Luis Garcia, but that I can maybe see why he's asking for a bit more, because that was nasty from Aramburu, who with that yellow card he's actually going to miss Real Sociedad's next match in La Liga for accumulating too many bookings. But I think he's very lucky there that he hasn't actually received a little bit more than that, because as he went up for the aerial ball with Malpe, he's led into him with his left arm and he's caught him in the face, and all of the Sevilla coaching staff was up on their seats sprinting. Luis Garcia so animated, he's signalling to the referee. There was an elbow there, you saw it. He's even now over to Jean Aramburu, and he's got his arm round him, talking with him as if to say, look, you know what you've done there, you know you're a lucky boy to still be on the pitch. And he gets a bit of a telling off from the fourth official, who he just raises his arm up in the air. He just brandishes him to go away there. As Malpe is now back up to his feet, he's receiving medical attention. So a bit of a stoppage in play in this one. It's still Sevilla 0, Real Sociedad 0, with 28.5 minutes played at Estadio Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan, but plenty of controversy in this game. We've already seen 2 bookings, one for either side. The Sevilla manager's been booked, but his side, he'd be happy with how they've played. They've been the better team. They've had the better chances in this game. They've tested the goalkeeper, Alex Ramiro, but apart really from the effort from Chidera Ajuke, Ramiro's saves have been relatively routine from shots that are a long way out. But considering where they are in the table compared to Sociedad, and they're fighting relegation, Sevilla, if you're a home fan, you can't help but feel confident that your side maybe could get something out of this. As the free kick is now taken by Vargas for Sevilla, plays it short to Ajuke, back to Vargas on his right foot, good effort, but the goalkeeper Ramiro, again it's a bit of a easy save for him to make. He saw the ball late, but he didn't really have enough pace on it. He just gets down low to his right hand side and claims the ball in both gloves, and he's cleared it away, but he's given it straight to a Sevilla player. It's now on halfway with Agume. He's had to play it back though to Lopez, and it's out over on the right hand side, played back to Carmona. Sevilla now have the ball in their own defensive third in a central position. Agume has dropped deep to try and get a touch of the ball. He's played it short to Lopez, who tries a cross-field ball to Ajuke. Good touch on his chest, but Aramburu beats him to it and clears it away. Straight at the head of Suazo though. But Sevilla give it away on halfway with Gudelj. But the pass out wide, intercepted. Sevilla have it back, but now they've given it away. But Gudelj wins it back for them on halfway, and he returns to face his own goal. It's now with Vlachodimos, who's able to clear the ball up high and away, and that's ended up going out of play. Touched a Sociedad man last up in the air, so that's going to be a throw-in for Sevilla. Get the ball down the right hand side quickly, and they're looking to try and get up to the edge of the box here with Romero. Finds Malpe in the D, back to Romero, has a goal on his left foot from distance, it's blocked. Aramburu's header is right at Ajuke, left hand side, into the penalty area he goes. He may try and pull it across, he has, and he's hit it straight into the knees of Neil Malpe, or rather it's hit a Sociedad defender, so it's actually gone behind for a corner, but he's causing a few issues here. Chidera Ajuke on the left hand side for Sevilla, good cross in, but Jean Martin was there for Sociedad ahead of Malpe. Sociedad now have their 3rd corner of the game. They've really ramped on the pressure in these last 15 minutes or so. We've played 31.5 in total, still 0-0 between the relegation threatened side and European chasing Real Sociedad. Don't forget they're also Copa del Rey winners this season. Here comes the corner from Vargas into the near post. It's headed away, only as far as a Duque. Back with Vargas, left-hand side, up into the penalty area he goes. Cross in, but it's claimed by the goalkeeper, Ramiro, who feels as if he's been clipped there by Lopez. He's gone down with the ball in his hands. He's just holding his left leg and shaking his wrist in a little bit of discomfort. But the referee, he's given the free kick, but I don't think he's going to give a booking here, because the collision did look accidental from Lopez. He was just trying to get on the end of the cross, but he was behind Ramiro. He was already sprinting, so he just tried to slow himself down, but in doing so he was already right next to Ramiro. He just clipped him, and we're going to see the free kick given. But the Sevilla fans making their feelings known toward the goalkeeper, that they're not all too happy, and they certainly don't like, well, they reckon it's play acting, and I do too, in all honesty. Ramiro, I think he knows what he's doing there. He's perhaps just trying to buy himself some time, but they have sent out one of the backup goalkeepers to go and warm up. Looks like it's Aitor Fraga who has been sent to just go and warm up down the touchline for Sociedad, just in case they need a change of goalkeeper here. I'll be surprised if we do see it, because he looks to be perfectly fine at the moment. There's no real reason as to why maybe he should go off. He's back up to his feet now, Alex Ramiro, and you can imagine we'll restart play in quite quick fashion. Looks like we will now. The Sociedad physios are making their way off the pitch. Ramiro's up on his feet. He's just stretching out his left leg. He seems completely fine. He's dropped the ball into the turf, and yep, he's walking completely fine at the moment. Seems to be not an issue with him at all. So we are going to restart with this Sociedad free kick inside their own penalty area. Ramiro has sent everyone up into the Sevilla half, and he's happy just to smash this one long and hope that one of his teammates can win the flick on. So there's the free kick. Play restarts. 11 minutes to go of the first half in matchday 34 in La Liga. Sevilla 0, Real Sociedad 0. As here comes Sevilla with a Duque on the left-hand side. Again, fancy footwork, plays the pass infield. It's now out on the left-hand side, but the attempted through ball from Ramiro intercepted, but brilliant tenacity from Agume to get down the byline and win the ball, and a Duque showing it as well to win it off a Sociedad player. But that's a lovely turn from Barrenetxea, and he's played it through to Oyarzabal, who's slid the pass into Soler. Again, the referee plays advantage. Sociedad have it, left-hand side by the edge of the box, cross in, headed away by a defender. It was Salas for Sevilla who got there, as his header away finds a Duque, but very unlucky there, Sociedad, to not at the very least get a shot in, and that all came from the excellence of Ander Barrenetxea on halfway. Just had two players around him, was being fouled while doing so, but he did such a neat little turn on the halfway line to keep the ball and find a pass. The referee did well to play the advantage and let the chance carry on, but really well headed away in the end by Salas. And Sevilla now trying their luck to break forward and open the scoring. Agume on halfway plays it back. It's now on the right hand side. It's played into the possession of Ramiro, who tried a little back heel but just couldn't reach Malpe. Agume wins it back. Malpe from long range has a goal on his left foot. It's blocked and headed away, only as far as a Duque though, by the edge of the penalty area. He's dancing with the ball at his feet, twisting and turning. Still on he goes. He's played it out to the left hand side. Suazo's cross is up high to the back post, helped on by Ramiro but cleared away by a Sociedad defender in his all grey kit. Goes out of play for a throw in. 9 minutes to go of regular time in the first half. It remains 0-0, but it's almost been like a game of basketball at times in this. It's just end to end stuff. It's quite amazing we get to see an opening goal, but Sevilla, out of either team, if you were to make the prediction as to who's going to score next based off the run of the play, it would almost certainly be the home side, and considering the difference in league positions between these two, you wouldn't think that whatsoever. But Here comes Sevilla with Vargas down the left-hand side. He's by the byline. He's just trying to open up a bit of space to get it on his right foot, and he has done. Plays the pass across to Lopez. And now it's Gudelj in field. Going forward to Maupay. But Sevilla rather forced to get the ball out to the left-hand side. The attempted ball through from Suazo intercepted. He's won it back though, but he's been tackled. However, Maupay wins it back for Sevilla. Gudelj able to find Suazo. Neat little touch from Vargas down the left-hand side. He's been brought down. The referee's going to wave it away, and Martin is able to clear away for Sociedad. Gudelj winning it back for Sevilla on halfway. Lopez forced to turn and face to his own goal. Plays it back to Vlachodimos. Long ball forward from the Greek goalkeeper. Sociedad get possession back. They played it to the edge of their own penalty area, but as the goalkeeper for them has a touch there, Alex Ramiro, all the Sevilla fans are not forgetting where a couple of minutes ago he went down and perhaps milked a bit of an injury. They're booing him any time he gets the ball, Alex Ramiro, so I can't imagine that's going to stop anytime soon in the second half either, let alone for the remaining 7 minutes we have of this first half, as the ball is played loosely to the halfway line. Ajuke winning it back for Sevilla. He's found Maupay down the left-hand side, but he's unable to beat the defender. It was a good tackle from Godat Shegi, and goes out for the throw-in. Maupay takes it. Ajuke's pass down the line intercepted, and then cleared away as well. Suazo winning it back on the halfway line for Sevilla. In their red and white kit, kicking from right to left. They're looking for that opening goal in the latter stages of this first half. As Ajuke makes the tackle, lovely little back heel from Suazo on the left-hand byline to keep it in play and find him. Again, it's with Suazo by the left-hand byline, plays it down into the path of Vargas. No, too heavy of a touch. That's gone straight out of play for a throw-in, and out of frustration he just kicks in the drink cooler box next to the dugout, just because he knows he should have done a little bit better there. He gave possession away quite cheaply for his side. And Aramburu is going to take the throw-in for Sociedad. Ends up going down the line. It's cleared away. But Sociedad have it back here with Soler in the centre circle to the right of the halfway line. He's knocked it across for Turientes. Now with Bananet Shea on the right-hand side. Cross up to the back post. It's headed away by a defender. It's only gone as far as Oyarzabal on the left-hand side. Tries to pass into the penalty area. He has found Turientes. He's played it back down that left-hand side. Low cross in, cleared away, but one back on the edge of the penalty area. Soler with a shot in the D. It's blocked, and Sevilla can try and break forward here, but it's 2 on 5 and not in their favour, as Maupay has to wait for support from Agume, but as Martin was sprinting back from an attacking position, he got the foot in, and the tackle just rebounded all the way through to the goalkeeper of Ramiro. The Sociedad now just perhaps just looking to close out the latter stages of this first half. 5 minutes to go of regular time. It is still 0-0 between them and Sevilla, but they've been under the cosh in this first half rather, or the second half of the first half. They've seen their goalkeeper have to make a few tame saves, but they've not tested Odyssey's Vlachodimos at all. The Sevilla keeper hasn't had a save to make in the entirety of this first half, but they've still got the ball here in their own defensive third. They look to try and build up from the back with Turientes. He's found Bananet Shea, who's got a bit of room to run into over on the left-hand side. He's still going forward with it here, is Bananet Shea. He's played it back into the path of Gomez, who's opened up his body. A neat little back heel to Turientes. He's played into the path of Bananet Shea on the left-hand side. He's trying to get up to the edge of the penalty area, beats a defender, tackled by the second. That's going to go behind for a goal kick. The referee feels that's come back off Bananet Shea, who has his arms out to the referee. He's got a look of real bemusement there as the Sociedad wide man. He can't quite believe that that's been given as a goal kick. really just looks truly baffled. Has gone behind as Alexis Sanchez has been sent out to warm up by his manager Luis Garcia, and he's signalling to him there, Garcia. He's looking at Alexis Sanchez and he's signalling with his fingers that he wants to bring him on. I think that could be a change we maybe see at half time, just based off that little signal there from Luis Garcia. He was looking right at Alexis Sanchez and he signalled to him that he's thinking about bringing him on. But here comes Sevilla with their forward man Romero. His cross from the left is blocked, falls to Suazo, cross up high to the back post, met on the volley but it's blocked, and again a shot from the edge of the box from Agume. It went straight through into the path of Neil Malpe, who just tried a clever little back heel flick from about 10 yards away from goal, but just didn't get the required connection on it to puzzle the goalkeeper Ramiro. It was a neat little touch from him on his left foot, and just Agume's shot fell straight through to him, but the touch just guided the ball further wide of the goal, and that drops behind for the goal kick as we begin to enter the final 2 minutes of regular time. It remains 0-0 between Sevilla and Real Sociedad. Here is Romero for Sevilla, chesting the ball down off a throw-in, but he's lost the ball, goes down, referee waves play on. It's kept in play over on the right-hand side, played into the centre circle for Suazo, gets it out to Ajuke on the left-hand side. Forward he goes, up to the edge of the penalty area, to the left of goal. Still going with the ball here, Ajuke. He's in the box. Brilliant footwork, but the finish wasn't as brilliant. He just gets too much lift on the ball and scoops it well over the crossbar. But the Sevilla fans don't mind a bit of that at all. He really has been the live wire, Chidera Ajuke, causing so much issues down the left-hand side. A lovely bit of skill just to lift the ball in between two defenders. He did a neat little ball roll on his right foot and then flicked it up onto his left and poked it through, but the right-footed shot just scooped well over the crossbar. But if anyone is going to make something happen in this game, it's that man down the left for Sevilla, Chidera Ajuke, looking so lively whenever he gets the ball, and even his teammates agree, because every time he gets the ball on the left-hand side, you just see all of the dugout, every substitute sat in there, just start rising up to their feet. They get to the edge of the technical area and they're just waiting for him to do something. Every time he's on the ball, everyone here associated with Sevilla at Estadio Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan, they are right up on their feet and they're getting excited. We've got 30 seconds left to go though until half-time, or rather until we reach we'll reach the 45 minutes played in regular time. It's still 0-0 between Sevilla and Sociedad. Here comes Sevilla with Malpe, left-hand side, crossing to the penalty area. Ramiro, a brave punch to get it away to the edge of his penalty area. Sociedad try and hit Sevilla quickly on the counter, but it's well defended by Carmona, and it's back with the Sevilla goalkeeper Vlachodimos. We've now played the 45 minutes. We're going to have 3 minutes of additional time in this first half. Can either side find the opening goal in this game at Estadio Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan? It's Sevilla 0, Real Sociedad 0, which means as it stands, Sociedad are going to move up to 8th place, but will still be 3 points behind Celta Vigo in 6th, who occupy that Europa Conference League place in La Liga, and Sevilla will still be in 18th. They'll only be a point off Deportivo Alaves and La Liga safety in 17th with 4 games to go. Has Vlachodimos, bit of a poor clearance away there from the Sevilla keeper. Sociedad try and get the ball forward, but they've given it away. Here is Malpe on halfway. Can he get the ball out to the left-hand side? He can do, and it's with Romero, who hasn't got any help, but he finds Malpe in the D by the edge of the penalty area. Back with Romero on the left-hand side. Ajuke, good through ball, looking for Agume, who did get there first, but he kicks the ball into the goalkeeper, but the referee feels that Agume has brought down the defender Martin, and he's going to award a free kick for Sociedad inside their own penalty area. As Agume, he wanted the corner, but again, the Sevilla head coach, Luis Garcia, he's already been shown a yellow card in this game, for being a bit too animated after a foul, but every time something happens, whether it's a decision against his team or it's a foul on one of his players or something positive happens for his team, he's just so animated on his touchline. He's pacing up and down it, running up and down, he's jumping up and down as well. He just does not stop moving in his technical area. He's much like the Sevilla fans in the ground at the moment, just non-stop, all action, all noise. But you can understand why, because he knows what a massive, massive deal it will be to not only the fans but his players and himself and everyone associated with Sevilla to stay in La Liga next season and not suffer relegation. As here they come with Suazo back to Ajuke, perhaps in the last time in this first half, because we've only got 35 seconds left of the 3 minutes added on. They've got it with Carmona on the right hand side. It's been played down that wing. It's back with Carmona, who gets the touch in. Has he kept it in play? He hasn't, and he's been tackled. I think the flag may have actually gone up over on the far side from the linesman for Carmona being in an offside position. So it will be a free kick for Sociedad deep inside their own half, or rather it's not been given for that. It's because Carmona, the ball went out of play. He was brought down by Gomez, but the ball ended up going out of play, so it's going to be a goal kick rather than anything else. That's the decision from the referee. Well, we've had the 3 minutes and we're not actually going to have the free kick, we're going to have the half-time whistle. So half-time at Estadio Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan, it's Sevilla 0, Real Sociedad 0, but Sevilla have been absolutely rampant in that first half. They've had several chances, but Alex Ramiro has had only a couple of tame saves to make. The efforts on target have all come from relatively far out, and all he's had to do is just get himself to shuffle along to the right position and just claim the ball in both gloves. Sociedad yet to have a shot on target and really have not troubled the Sevilla defence, let alone the goalkeeper Odysseus Vlachodimos. If there's any team that look like they're going to win this, it's the team who are currently in the relegation places. Half time, Sevilla 0, Real Sociedad 0. Welcome back, everyone, to this live audio coverage. Sevilla taking on Real Sociedad. There was a change by both teams at the interval. Alexis Sanchez has come on for Isaac Romero. Was a player who looked like he was being sent out to warm up by his head coach Luis Garcia. Pellegrino Matarazzo has also made a change for Sociedad. He's brought on Ori Oscarsson up front as John Gorachategui has made way for him. So trying to maybe shake things up a little bit. Still 0-0 between these two sides. Sevilla very much have been the better team though. They've had way more of the opportunities in the game, but clearly the Sociedad manager Matarazzo feeling that he needed a change there. He needed to try, he's got to try something different up top to get his team back in this game, or rather try and get them into it at all, really, if they're going to try and get themselves a result that would help them get into those European spots, as a win would put them just a point off 6th place. They've already won the Copa del Rey this season, as the ball is now by the edge of the penalty area with the goalkeeper Ramiro, as he's trying to just get the ball up long and make sure that he gets it as far away from his own goal as possible. I think the last thing that Sociedad want is to concede early in this second half, and maybe that could set Sevilla on their way to getting what really would be a huge 3 points for them, especially at home, as they've currently got the ball with Vlachodimos inside his own penalty area. It's gone back to him. Sevilla happy to just keep the ball in their own defensive third for the moment, and it's now up on the halfway line as they're just trying to get their way forward, looking to try and find Vargas, but nothing seems to come of it. They had to go back by the edge of their own penalty area, but Sociedad able to try and get it back here and just try to keep the possession in the meantime, build up from the back, put themselves in the lead during the early stages of this second half, as the ball's in the penalty area. It's with Sanchez and he's got it in! It's crept through the goalkeeper, and the half-time substitute has scored! A brilliant inspired substitution from Luis Garcia, and Alexis Sanchez, formerly of Manchester United and Arsenal, smashes the ball in through the goalkeeper. They thoroughly deserve it, Sevilla. They've scored within the first 5 minutes of the second half, and Alexis Sanchez, that is a humongous goal for them, and it takes them out of the bottom three. A fine finish from the Chilean, but all came from the deep cross in from the right-hand side, and lovely hold-up play as well from Neil Maupay. Just got the ball with his back to goal, got a touch on it, laid it off to Sanchez to his right, who shot powered through the goalkeeper. Ramiro just couldn't keep it out. It ends up in the back of the net, and Alexis Sanchez, only on the pitch for 5 minutes, has put Sevilla a goal to the good. A thunderous finish from the former Arsenal and Manchester United man. That's only his 4th goal of the season, and that one could be one of his most important of the season. Sevilla are out of the bottom three now and lead Real Sociedad by a goal to nil. That was truly a brilliant finish from Sanchez, who has seen his career really curtail since the move to Manchester United all those years ago. But here comes Sociedad up the other end. They've got it on the left-hand side. It's with Soler, shot from a long way out, takes a deflection, and Vlachodimos is able to get over and claim the ball in both gloves. That's very important there from the Greek goalkeeper. The last thing that Sociedad, or rather I should say Sevilla, going to want. He's conceding right after going a goal up, but they've dealt with it there. As now Godelj tries to poke the ball out to the left-hand side, but it's ended up going straight out of play, and that's going to be a throw-in for Sociedad deep inside the Sevilla half. They've played it back down the right-hand side, and the referee waves, well, looked like he'd wave play on, because all the Sevilla players continued playing there after a foul was actually given by the referee. So we will see play restart with a Sociedad free kick just inside the Sevilla half, so it's to the left of the halfway line, as Sociedad trailing by a goal to nil. We've only played 7.5 minutes of this second half. The half-time substitute, Alexis Sanchez, getting the goal. There's Sociedad in their all-grey kit, looking to break down the right-hand side, but ends up just being too heavy of a touch. That's gone behind for a goal kick. But if you missed it earlier, a half-time change made by both teams. Isaac Romero went off for Alexis Sanchez, who has scored the goal that has Sevilla ahead. He's got it with only within 5 minutes of the restart. He caused raucous scenes from the Sevilla bench. They all sprinted out from the dugout to just fly over to him on the pitch and embrace him and all of his teammates. Only his 4th goal of the season, but a goal that currently has Sevilla out of the bottom 3. Real Sociedad also made a change. John Gorat to Shaggy went off for Ori Oskarsson. A bit more of an attacking-minded change there by Sociedad, who look to try and get their way forward, but it's played back by Sevilla to the goalkeeper, Vlachodimos, inside his own 6-yard box. He's played it short to one of the centre-halves. It's now with Agume, back to Vlachodimos, long ball forward from the goalkeeper, looking for Malpe, but he's unable to reach him. It's headed away by a defender, and Sociedad can try and play up from the back now. But Malpe there, almost taking the ball off Gomez. It was really good there from Malpe. He just sprinted forward trying to apply the pressure, but Gomez able to get the pass away. And I've already mentioned, especially in the first half, Sevilla, just how eager they are to get the ball when they don't have it. They're working so incredibly hard off the ball. They're just all players, they're sprinting forward trying to get a touch on the ball, as they've done exactly that inside their own half with the defender Lopez. Lovely ball through to Sanchez. He's helped it on over the top, but the goalkeeper for Sociedad, Alex Ramiro, is there first ahead of Ajuke, and he's able to clear it up the pitch. And now Sociedad can try and get forward down the right-hand side. They've just had to slow down the pace of that attack. It's gone back into their own half with Caleta Carr, now on halfway with Gomez. Soler turning to face his own half, plays it short to Aramburu. But Sociedad again being forced to do a lot of what they did in the first half by Sevilla. They're forced back deep inside their own half. All they can do is play it amongst their defensive third, because that's the only options they have off the ball, as they now try and play it long in search of Gomez. Good defending from Godelj, but the clearance isn't good at all. He's hit it straight at Gomez, and fortunately for Sevilla, his crossfield pass is intercepted, but the return pass ends up going straight at a Sociedad player, and Oyarzabal trying to sprint through on the loose touch of Salas, but as Salas is able to sprint forward, and he ends up colliding with his own goalkeeper, and it just ends up running through. But we're going to see another change here for Sociedad. They've already made one at the interval, bringing on Oskarsson for Gorat Shategi. They're also going to bring on Takefusa Kubo, so on will come the Japanese international. Quite a surprise that Kubo didn't start this game. He's not going to come on just yet though, because we're going to have the Sevilla free kick from their goalkeeper Vlachodimos right on the edge of his own penalty area. He smashed it long, headed on by Vargas, finds Sanchez, he's been brought down, will be a free kick for Sevilla, and perhaps we will now see the introduction of Takefusa Kubo. 6 goal involvements so far this season, 4 of them being assists. He's only scored twice in La Liga this season, but if he's going to get his 3rd goal of the season and it's to equalise this game up, that certainly wouldn't be something that his manager Pellegrino Matarazzo would mind whatsoever. But we still are yet to see the Japanese winger come on to the pitch. Let's see if he can make a difference. But it's his manager Pellegrino Matarazzo just looking on, waiting to see if he needs to make that change at Kubo. He still hasn't entered the pitch here, so we will see this Sevilla free kick be put in by Vargas on the right hand side. He's lofted it up high to the back post, free header, and it's over the crossbar. That was a fantastic chance for Quique Salas to double up the Sevilla lead. We're only 12.5 minutes into the second half. They lead by a goal to nil courtesy of Alexis Sanchez, but Salas, he's got to do so much better there, as here comes that change. Kubo has come on, and in his place it will be, looks like Pablo Marin is going to come off. So very much a like-for-like change there by Pellegrino Matarazzo, the Sociedad head coach, just bringing on a different right-sided midfielder to try and add just a little bit more threat in the wide areas and bring Sociedad back level in this game, because they have been absolutely nowhere near the required levels that you would expect from them tonight, given the fact that before the game that a win would put them just a point off 6th place. They've won the Copa del Rey this season, but it's the side who have been threatened by relegation for so much of the season, Sevilla, who have been all over them. They're playing like a team who know they have to do everything to stay in this division next season. As it stands, they are out of the bottom 3, but you feel that maybe a second goal would perhaps confirm the 3 points, as the ball currently in the possession of Jean Martin, the Sociedad centre-back. Played it out to the right-hand side, and it's gone back to the goalkeeper. Wasn't the most convincing of passes back to Ramiro, but he's able to play the ball out from the back. It's now gone short to Gomez, who's played it into the possession of Turientes. Now up on halfway with Carlos Soler. Lovely ball over the top, just can't reach Oskarsson. It's headed away, but he's won it back, Oskarsson. It's chested down by Oyarzabal in the D of the penalty area, but cleared away by Sevilla. But it's gone straight to the midfielder Turientes, who looks to try and break through, but he's tackled. And now Sevilla, if they're quick here, they can get the ball up the pitch. They've got it inside the Sociedad half, but the return pass from Malpe in search of Ajuke just had too much on it. The Nigerian winger, just, you could see he knew he didn't have the legs there, and you can tell he hasn't, because I think he's pulled up over on the far side. He's just stretched down into his haunches, and now he's laid flat on his front in the turf. He's clearly feeling a lot of discomfort here in in one of his legs. Looks like maybe it's his right leg, because you can visibly see that the muscle is cramped there in the back of his leg. So we'll have a stoppage in play on the hour mark. It's Sevilla 1, Real Sociedad 0. The half-time substitute, Alexis Sanchez, scoring within 5 minutes of his introduction. But I think we're going to have to see another Sevilla change here, and this one is very much going to be enforced. And it's a real shame, because Chidera Ajuke, I was waxing lyrical about him in the first half, and he was, in that first 45 minutes, without a doubt, Sevilla's best player on the pitch, was causing so many issues for the Sociedad defence. But you can see, after he just prevented himself from trying to get on the end of the Malpe through ball, he knows that he's injured himself here, and it's a shame for him with only 4 games left of the season. But you can already see that Luis Garcia, the Sevilla head coach, he's talking to one of his substitutes. He's getting ready to make the change, and if it's going to be anything as impactful as the Alexis Sanchez change at half-time, then whoever he brings on is going to almost certainly, well, I say almost certainly, but if they are to be as impactful as quickly as Sanchez was, you feel Sevilla maybe are going to be taking the points home. Play has restarted, but we've restarted with the drop ball. Sevilla have just booted the ball forwards to give it back to Sociedad. We're actually playing, it looks like, with 11 against 10 at the moment. As Ajuke's been taken off the pitch, he's received medical attention. He's not come off. He's still on the pitch here, Ajuke. He's come back on. He looks to be moving a little bit more comfortably, but we're going to see in the following minutes if he truly is okay to continue. But here he is straight away trying to get on the end of a Malpay layoff, but the referee's brought it back for what he felt was a foul on Aramburu before the pass got through. Straight away there, the referee, Juan Martinez, he was quick to act there on Malpay, and I think he's done him harshly there, Malpay, because he's just turned to put his back into the defender Aramburu, and as he's turned, his arms have swung out and he's caught Aramburu in the face, and that's why the referee's given the free kick. It seems a little bit harsh, that one, but nonetheless play continues. No matter how much a Sevilla player complains, or I complain for that matter, the referee's not going to reverse this decision. As the ball's up into the right hand side of the penalty area, Sociedad looking to try and get forward with Baranechea, but Ajuke is back there, makes the interception. The corner taken quickly and short, good turn of pace, cross comes in from Baranechea, but it takes a heavy deflection, and that one cannons off a defender. That's going to go back out behind for a Sociedad corner, as the away side looking to get themselves back level. A goal for them would see Sevilla drop back into the bottom three of La Liga with 4 games to go. 63 minutes gone at Estadio Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. It's 1-0 to the home side, courtesy of Alexis Sanchez, who came on at half-time. Corner crossed in, Vlachodimos punches it away inside his 6-yard box, but a Sevilla player is down, holding his head. The referee instantly stops the game. Sevilla will have a free kick inside their 6-yard box. Looks like it's their centre half, Kiki Salas, who has gone down there. Has the Sociedad half-time substitute, Oscarson. He jumped up high to try and win the header, but as he jumped up high, he just caught Salas on the back of the head, and that's why the referee's given the free kick, even though neither one of them got near the ball when Vlachodimos punched it away. But Sevilla will restart with this free kick inside their own penalty area. Vlachodimos, almost like it's the 90th minute of the game, he's sending everyone up the pitch here, and he's just going to smash this one up high and as far away from his goal as possible. As up it goes high in the air, looking for the head of Malpay. It doesn't reach him. Agume wins it for Sevilla, and he's blocked to pass away, and he just can't take the ball forward with him, and Sociedad able to get it away as Soler heads it into the turf. It's gone straight to Agume. Good through ball to Malpay by the edge of the penalty area. He's had to play it out wide to Ajuke on the left wing. Tries the reverse through ball. Sanchez sliding in by the line. He just about kept it in play, but he's kicked it behind for a goal kick. Ajuke's pass just had a little bit too much power on it, but Sanchez, he knew the idea was there, just looks over it and puts his thumb up. But his manager, Luis Garcia, over by the dugout, he doesn't share that same calmness. He has got his head just looking down at his substitutes. He can barely watch the rest of this game. We've still got 25 minutes to go of regular time with Sevilla a goal up against Real Sociedad. Their manager just looks so anxious, does Luis Garcia. God forbid what he's going to look like in the 90th minute of the game if his side is still a goal up. But here comes Sociedad looking to change that. Kubo playing it to Soler, now with Baranechea by the edge of the penalty area. Plays it to Gomez to the left-hand side. His cross blocked. Sociedad have a throw-in. We've already seen Sevilla try a few long throws in the game, and albeit to no avail. Sociedad, that was the perfect opportunity to try one there, as Sergio Gomez didn't opt to do one. Again, a bit of a contentious decision as the throw-in goes in Sociedad's favour. The Sevilla fans and players don't agree with it. Again, the throw-in, it was in a good area to take it long, but Gomez goes short. Sociedad still have it though. It's with their centre-back, Jean Martin. He's played it across to Aramburu. All the Sevilla fans booing every Sociedad player when they've got the ball. They're all whistling, just trying to make as much noise as possible to put off the Sociedad players. As The pass ends up going out of play. Gomez can't get there, and that loose pass and touch is cheered almost as loudly as it would be if Sevilla had just gone 2-0 up here. 66.5 minutes gone. They lead by a goal to nil. Alexis Sanchez got it, was brought on at half-time, scored within the first 5 minutes of the second half. Sociedad are getting another change ready here. It looks like it's Yangel Herrera who's going to come on next for them. They've already brought on Ori Oscarson and Takefusa Kubo, but clearly Pellegrino Matarazzo feels he needs another change up here to try and make something different. Sevilla have sent out their striker Akor Adams to go and warm up in the meantime, as they win the ball on halfway, but a heavy touch from Agume gives back possession for Sociedad, and the men in all grey kicking from right to left, just trying to build up from the back and look for that equalising goal. Here is their left back Sergio Gomez, plays it back into his own half for Turrientes. Martin now for Sociedad, knocking it across for Aramburu on the right hand side. Martin and Aramburu exchanging passes, back again with Martin, trying to get his head up and look for the pass, but he's just rolled it across, and the ball goes long and high up in the air. It's helped on by Oscarson, but no one is ahead of him in a grey shirt, and Vlachodimos just waits for him to get near him, just turns his back to him, then picks the ball up off the turf and plays a short pass to Lopez. He's back now with Vlachodimos, who again is happy just to smash it long into the Sociedad half, just get the ball as far away from his goal as possible. Agume there is deemed to be a bit too forceful on Turrientes. He's pulled him back. It's going to be a free kick for Sociedad right on the halfway line, and they've taken it quickly, so we're still yet to see Yangel Herrera come on for them. As forward they come, the ball over the top though, well read by Lopez, the Sevilla defender, who heads it away, and Agume's won it back for Sevilla on halfway, and forward he goes. He's got loads of room to run into, but he's just halted himself. He's played the pass short to Malpe. Good through ball, Sanchez in the area, pulled back, and that should be 2-0. That is a humongous chance that's been spurned by Ruben Vargas. That was so poor from him, and he knows he should do better. He cocks his head back in frustration and looks to the skies, because that was a gorgeous move from Sevilla. Agume won the ball back in his own half, sprinted forward up to the edge of the penalty area. He got played through to Sanchez, who had just had the vision and composure just to slot it across to Vargas, who just leant back a bit too much. He was only about 15 yards from goal, and he sees his effort spoon over the crossbar. He's got to do better there, and Sevilla really should be 2-0 up. We've only got 20.5 minutes to go of regular time, but the home side, they should have been home and dry there. That was a huge chance. As Sociedad have now made the change, they've brought on Yangel Herrera. From what I can see, it looks as if it's Beñat Turrientes who has been replaced. Here is Aramburu for Sociedad, playing it back to Martin, the centre-back. Forward it goes to Herrera, on halfway for Sociedad in their all-grey kit. He's gone back to Martin. Aramburu playing it down the right-hand touchline for Kubo. Forward it goes to Bananetxea. Kubo are happy to get possession back. He plays it out to the left-hand side for Gomez, trying to get the ball in field. It's gone back to halfway for Caleta Carr for Sociedad. Now with Soler just trying desperately to get the ball forward and make something happen for Sociedad, who are a goal down and really haven't been in this game whatsoever since minute one, as Sevilla take it off them on halfway through the goalkeeper, the goal scorer rather, Alexis Sanchez. Here is the goalkeeper, Vlachodimos, in possession by the edge of his penalty area. He goes long, it's headed away by Martin. Agume wins it back on halfway for Sevilla. Now with the right back Carmona, who tries to just slide a pass through to his teammate Vargas, but Vargas unable to get on the end of it, and it's gone straight through to a man in a grey shirt. As Sociedad. Now it's their turn to try and get forward. Herrera, who's just come on as a substitute, plays it short to Baronet Shea in a central position. Back it goes for Caleta Carr. Now with Martin. Sociedad perhaps going to try their luck down the right-hand side. As Aramburu and Kubo exchange passes, but Aramburu is forced to run into a central position inside his own half and just take the ball further away from the Sevilla goal. He has a heavy touch from Oscarsson, gives away possession, and Sevilla get it back. It's lofted over the top. They look for Vargas, or Malpe rather, but he's unlucky not to hold up the ball with his back to goal. And it runs through to the goalkeeper, Alex Romero, for Sociedad. Now Martin knocks it across for Caleta Carr. Gomez getting the ball on his left foot, trying to make his way forward. Plays it to the halfway line for Soler. Herrera going across to find Martin. Now it's with Aramburu. Kubo getting it from the right-hand side to go infield for Oyarzabal, the Sociedad captain. Feel like that's the first time I've said his name in this second half, Mikel Oyarzabal, but here he is again on halfway, having to play the ball back into his own half for Martin. Sociedad having a really prolonged spell of possession here, but they're doing absolutely nothing with it in the meantime. Oyarzabal playing it wide to Herrera, now with Gomez playing it back to the halfway line for Martin. It goes out to the right-hand side where it's found Baronet Shea. Does well to keep the ball. He's got two white shirts on him. He's twisting and turning. He slips in the surface, and again it's a contentious decision from the referee and linesman, because that looked like it was cleared into Baronet Shea before it went out of play, but the throw-in was given in Sociedad's favour. From the resulting one, they go long. It's cleared away by a defender on the edge of the Sevilla penalty area, and Sociedad again have it back with them as Aramburu plays it down the right-hand side. Baronet Shea's cross was just one too many yards ahead of Oscarsson, who, if he had got on the end of that, he would have had the whole of the goal to aim at. Vlachodimos, though, the goalkeeper, claiming it, but he looks around at all of his defenders and he screams at them that they've just got to do a little bit better. As we're going to see a little stoppage in play here, as Ruben Vargas, the Sevilla midfielder, has gone down. He's just having his left leg stretched out, but he is actually going to be subbed off. But it was his chance a moment ago where he should have made it 2-0. That was a huge chance that he had after Sanchez cut it back to him inside the penalty area, but he ended up skying it over the crossbar. So Ruben Vargas makes way, and it's another Sanchez who's going to come on for Sevilla. It's Juan Luis Sanchez who comes on for them as just their second change of the game with 15.5 minutes to go. Sevilla still a goal to the good, courtesy of Alexis Sanchez. He came on at half-time for Isaac Romero and scored within the first 5 minutes of the restart. It was just his fourth goal of the season, but if it's a goal that's going to help Sevilla stay up, I don't think he's going to score a much bigger goal for the rest of the season. And he's just given away a free kick there, the goal scorer, and I think he's going to be shown a yellow card for his troubles as well. The referee, Juan Martinez, ordering him to get back up to his feet. Soon as he does, he shows the yellow card to the goal scorer, but perhaps feels a little bit fair there on Alexis Sanchez, because as he slid in to try and get the ball, his studs just caught the lower ankle of Carlos Soler, so it's no surprise the referee has put him in the book. As Alexis Sanchez, he wasn't happy with the referee. While he was sat on the floor, was just looking right up at him, was screaming at him that he didn't feel a foul should be given. As Sevilla win the ball back on halfway, it's with Alexis Sanchez. Can he get the pass right? He isn't actually going to pass. He's just kept running with the ball, but he's forced to play a pass backward as he's put under pressure by the men in grey shirts of Sociedad. It's gone out now to the left-hand side. Here is Ajuke, but ball's gone out of play before he can get there. And it's going to go, and it's going to be given as a throw-in for Sociedad. But I mentioned earlier about Chidera Ajuke, thought he was going to go off about 15 minutes ago, just collapsed into the turf. Looked like maybe he was suffering what could have been a pulled hamstring, but since he come back on the pitch, he's been completely fine and he's been moving all right. There's really no cause for concern with him or any reason to bring him off, perhaps, as Sevilla have it on the right corner of their own penalty area with their defender Lopez. Clears it long over the halfway line. Sociedad win it back. Gudelj able to nod it into the turf. And they've played it through over the halfway line, and here they come again, Sevilla, with Malpay looking to break forward. He's got options to pass to Malpay. He plays it to Ajuke, left-hand side, in the penalty area. Will he look to shoot here? Ajuke goes centrally. He does shoot, but it's blocked by a defender, and it ends up dropping at the head of the wing-back Carmona. He feels that he's had a high boot hit his head there. The referee has waved play on. Carmona is still down, but Sociedad have given it away by the level with the corner of their own box. This time the referee sees contact and he gives a foul. Sanchez was just caught there by the substitute Herrera, so he's awarded the free kick. Carmona has now only just got back up to his feet, was asking the referee, well, was there any high boot there, because you didn't give the decision. The referee explains himself, and Carmona, as the referee runs away, just turns back and looks at him and just gives a little chuckle to the referee. So all we'll have is this free kick level with the right corner of the penalty area. Sevilla still leading Real Sociedad by 1-0. A little over 12 minutes to go of regular time is what stands in the way of Sevilla, and what would only be their 10th win of the season, but a win that would see them go a point above Deportivo Alaves and put them in a safe position for next season and avoid relegation. But that free kick from their wing-back Suazo was poor. Hit the first defender, but the second ball in is helped through, and there's the second! And it's bundled in by the midfielder Agume, but the flag's up though over on the far side, so it's not going to count. Agume and all the Sevilla fans, including myself as well, we all saw that late. The Sevilla fans, though, they're wagging their finger at the linesman. VAR will, of course, take a little look at it, as it did originally come from a free kick, and that one from Suazo. It was cleared away, it was held back into the penalty area, the header was flicked on, and Agume's the only one who's touched the ball. In all fairness, Alexis Sanchez was in an offside position, but the ball is nowhere near him. It doesn't even end up within 15 yards of him, and it went through to Agume. Such composure to just bring it down on the shin of his right leg and then poke it through the legs of the unrushing goalkeeper. There's 11 minutes to go here. VAR has had a look, and it's still not made its decision yet. The Sociedad players have restarted. They think that it's a free kick. The referee has got his arm up to signal. I think the goal's not going to stand here, and it hasn't. Players restarted with a Sociedad free kick, so the flag has actually gone up and the goal has been ruled out for offside. Well, from what I could see, it looked like Agume was in an onside position there, unless they feel Alexis Sanchez was interfering with the play a little bit, or Agume may well have just wandered a half a yard offside. If he did, it's extremely tight, as it remains 1-0 to Sevilla, but forward they come looking for that second goal. It's Agume on the halfway, who will feel so hard done by. He's just had that goal disallowed. There is 10 minutes to go of regular time at the Estadio Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. It is Sevilla 1, Real Sociedad 0, but can they get a second here? Agume trying to break forward. He's brought down, and even though the referee played advantage originally, he's not given the free kick there, but he's given another advantage. Cross in from the right-hand side from Carmona is headed away, but again, the Sevilla fans, they're not all too happy with the referee there, but they're now all just turning frustration into support. They're bouncing up and down, and just making as much noise as possible. Scarves are being waved above their heads. They just want to do everything they can to support their team and get them over the line to secure a big 3 points that would take them out of the bottom three. As here comes another Sevilla substitution. They're going to take off the captain Nemanja Gudelj, and in his place we will see Batista, Mendy come on as their third change, so a bit of a change up in the wide areas of midfield. It looks like Gudelj is just feeling a bit of injury here as he's just being stretched out, and here comes a double change for Real Sociedad. Lucas Sucic is going to come on for them as one of the changes. They've also brought on the Brazilian Wesley, so that is all 5 substitutions made by the Sociedad manager Pellegrino Matarazzo, as Gudelj now has just slowly made his way off the pitch. He's handed the armband over to Gabriel Suazo. Off he goes. He just puts his hand in the turf and makes a sign of the cross as he makes way for Batista Mendy as the substitution. But Sociedad bringing on Wesley and Lucas Sucic. They've taken off John Aramburu as one of the changes. He's made way for Sucic. His play's restarted with a Sevilla throw-in. It's been cleared away. It's also Ander Baranatshaya who has gone off for Real Sociedad as those last 2 changes are made. They're just trying everything they can. They're putting on more attacking-minded players simply just to get the ball up the pitch, do everything they can to, at the very least, get a point out of this game here, the away side. But in all honesty, they've not really looked like scoring at all tonight. Little under 83 minutes gone, it's Sevilla 1, Real Sociedad 0. Is Alexis Sanchez's goal just 5 minutes after he came on at half-time going to be the difference? As the Sevilla fans again, arms up in the air, all of them are clapping, making noise, as their side have just given away a free kick. And Mendy, who's only just come on as a substitute, ends up just smashing into a Sociedad player. So a free kick is awarded. It's just inside the Sevilla half, and they've got it out to Wesley by the left corner of the penalty area. The Real Sociedad substitute plays it short to Gomez. It's with Soler, but the referee's awarded a free kick in Sevilla's favour, and Soler just throws his arms up in the air out of frustration. He can't quite believe that the referee has brought it back and given the foul. As looked like it was Mendy who was caught there just off the ball. He ended up going down into the turf. The referee saw it happen off the ball and straight away went over to award the free kick in Sevilla's favour. They'll all be delighted about that because they know they can just take their time delaying the restart and just get the ball up the pitch as far away as their goal as possible. Vlachodimos, the goalkeeper, is going to take it. Again, he's ordered everyone up the pitch in a red and white shirt. Still the Sevilla fans, scarves flying around their heads, all clapping, bouncing up and down. They're making so much noise here. Here come Sevilla down the left-hand side, looking to try and maybe get that second goal, but Ajuke's just done a bit too much fancy footwork. But what a brilliant sliding challenge from Suazo to win it back. Agume plays it out wide to Ajuke, and on the overlap it's crossed in, and the goalkeeper Ramiro just about gets a touch on it to palm it away. Carmona's cross from the right hand side, it's not fully cleared, it's pulled across, and Sanchez, who slid in on the edge of the 6-yard box, just got the connection completely wrong. He kicked the ball in from his right leg into his left leg, and Sociedad end up clearing it away. That really, again, it should be 2-0 to Sevilla. They should be home and dry, you feel, as again Ajuke on the left hand side, he's trying too much fancy footwork and he's tackled on the byline, and Sociedad have it back by the edge of their own penalty area with Caleta Carr, and forward they come now with Wesley down the left hand side, who gets over the halfway line. Played back to Gomez, who can try and get the ball forward here, and he has done down the left hand side for Oyarzabal. Wesley now getting forward down the left side, pulled into the penalty area, but vitally cleared away by Sevilla's defender Suazo, and it only goes as far as ahead of a man in a grey shirt, and Sociedad get it out to Kubo on the right hand side, who's trying his own fancy footwork. He beats one defender but can't get past the second challenge. Sucic wins it back on that right hand side, crossing to the penalty area, headed away by Lopez, and Mendy able to flick it on his right foot up to the halfway line, but Sociedad have won it back. 4 minutes to go at the Estadio Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. It is still Sevilla 1, Real Sociedad 0, but the nerves you can feel are really setting in here for the Sevilla fans and maybe the players. But forward they look to go down the left-hand side as they see one of their substitutes, Juan Luis Sanchez, get brought down on the counter-attack, and the free kick is awarded in their favour as himself and Wesley had a bit of a coming together, and afterward Juan Luis Sanchez just put his body in front of the Sociedad man. He knew the contact was coming, was really clever actually from the substitute to win that foul, and again it just runs the clock down. It allows Sevilla to get ever closer to the 90th minute. We've only got 3 minutes to go of regular time, and they know there isn't going to be all too much time left in terms of what will have added on as well. They are trying absolutely everything here, Sevilla, to secure just a 10th win of the season and take them out of the bottom three. As Neil Maupay there, in classic Neil Maupay fashion, just trying to make a bit of a nuisance of himself, and just chucks himself in front of a Sociedad defender. Thought he'd win the free kick, but it was given the other way. Here comes Sociedad with Sucic down the left-hand side. Inch-perfect through ball into the penalty area. Oscarson's beat the defender, but fortunately for Sevilla, Salas sprinted back, got the tackle in, and he was able to clear it away. But Sociedad still have it. And here is Oscarson to Oyarzabal, now with Herrera. Naughty challenge there from Carmona. That was very naughty indeed, and no surprise whatsoever that the referee Juan Martinez has shown him a yellow card. He just scythed down the Sociedad player there. It was Herrera who he just brought down. He just flung himself in there with both legs wrapped around Herrera. If anything, he's lucky to only get a yellow card there, Carmona, because he knew exactly what he was doing. He's halted a counter-attack, and he's certainly took one for the team there. A cynical foul is very much what they call it in football. A minute and a half to go now of regular time. Sevilla 1, Real Sociedad 0. Alexis Sanchez with his 4th goal of the season, just 5 minutes after coming on as a substitute at half-time. Could be the goal that takes Sevilla out of the bottom three, but that free kick swung into the penalty area. Vlachodimos punches it away in his 6-yard box. It's helped back on into the penalty area, not fully cleared by Mendy, but at the second attempt Suazo is there to smash it away deep into the Sociedad half, and Sanchez applying all the pressure on Gomez, whose back pass just about is kept in play by Ramiro. That looked destined to go out of play and wayward from the keeper to go out from a corner, and Ramiro's clearance is wayward, intercepted by the midfielder Agume, and that's brilliant work from the wide man Ajuke to get to the second ball and just play it back into his own half. But the clearance is right at a Sociedad man, and it's now with Oyarzabal on the left-hand side. Again, all the Sociedad subs sprint over just to try and coach all their players, but the cross from the left-hand side, Juanzo again is there to intercept it, and he's cleared it long, and he's found Ajuke on the left-hand touchline. It's 3-on-3 here. Ajuke up to the edge of the box, but his pass through to Maupay is under hit, and Sociedad are able to clear it away, but it's going to go out of play for a throw-in for Sevilla, level with the Sociedad penalty area in the 90th minute. They can just go and keep the ball in that corner now and run down the clock. We'll have 5 minutes of additional time in this game at the Estadio Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. Sevilla are going to make a double change here, you feel, just to run down that 5 minutes a little bit more, with the game only having the 1 goal in it. But now we will see Chidera Ajuke come off. He's going to make way for Osso as the 4th substitution for the home side. So again, just trying to bring on some fresh legs here because they don't half need it. Also, Neil Maupay goes off. He set up the goal for Sanchez. He may not have scored in this game, but he had a very good performance up front, it must be said. Held up the ball really well, and he's going to make way for Peque Fernandez as the 5th and final change for Sevilla, and their head coach Luis Garcia tonight. So 5 minutes added on at the end of this second half. We've already had a minute of it played, so you feel we're going to have to play that extra minute. Sevilla take the throw in, finds Sanchez by the bottom right corner quadrant, but he gives the ball away. Sociedad look to break away with Oyarzabal, but the referee's brought play back and he's awarded a free kick for Sociedad, who take it quickly, and now they look to try and get forward with it, but Sevilla have every single man in a white and red shirt inside their own half, just trying to block out any passing lane Sociedad may get. Here is Herrera, plays it back to Soler. It's now in the left-hand semicircle of the centre circle with Caleta Carr for Sociedad. Now with Gomez, plays it down the left-hand side for Sucic, and he's played it through to the left side of the penalty area for Soler. Back to Wesley by the left corner of the box. Deep cross in, headed away. Only goes as far as Kubo, who has a long-range effort on his right foot. It's blocked. Now with Gomez for Sociedad, and that is a brave, just diving header interception from Alexis Sanchez. He flung himself at the ball there, put his entire body on the line to preserve his side's goal lead. He's the one who scored the goal after all. There'll be no one more desperate in this stadium than him to make sure Sevilla get the 1-0 win. We've had 2.5 minutes of the 5 added on in added time in this second half. It's still 1-0 to Sevilla. Here is Kubo for Sociedad, sprinting forward up to the edge of the box. The pass through finds Herrera, now again over on the right-hand side. It's been played back to Sucic. Now Sociedad look to attack on the left with Soler. Opens up his body, has a shot from a long way out. It's blocked, and Sevilla are able just about to clear it away through Agume. It's helped on by the head of their substitute Juan Luis Sanchez. Plays it deep into the Sociedad half, but the goalkeeper Alex Ramiro has won it back, and he's played it short. Now again with Sucic. Gomez now for Sociedad, breaking forward into the attacking half. He tries a cross, it's half cleared by the head of Lopez, and Sociedad have it back by the left-hand byline. Ooh, and again a bit of a nasty challenge as a Sevilla player slides in. I think the referee's given a free kick, but I don't think he's given any bookings at the moment, as we now approach the final minute of additional time. The referee here has just gone over to all the Sevilla substitutes, who the whole game have been stood up in that dugout, just trying to coach every player on the pitch through it. He's told them all just to go and sit down. They're now all back up on their feet. They're in the technical area screaming at their teammates. Soler's cross for Sociedad into the penalty area, headed away, but Sevilla able to clear it, and they could be on the counter here, because forward they go with Juan Luis Sanchez, but he's all on his own. But he's up into the penalty area to the left of goal. He's still going here, Juan Luis Sanchez. He just takes the ball to the corner, and he's tried to play it into the penalty area, but he's given it away. And could that be costly with only 30 seconds to go of the 5 added on? Sevilla 1, Sociedad 0. Can the away side break red and white hearts here and send them back into the bottom 3 and keep up their push for a European place? Not at the moment. Juan Luis Sanchez makes the tackle. He wanted to throw in his side's favour, but it's gone to Sociedad. But remember, even though we had 5 minutes added on, we had to wait a minute for play to get restarted after a double change from Sevilla. Soler tries a cross into the box. It's headed away, but it's shot for a Sociedad man. It's Oscarson, left side of the box. It's been blocked and cleared, and there is the full-time whistle, and that is met by the loudest cheer you will maybe hear for the rest of the La Liga season in Spain. That is absolutely humongous for Sevilla and Luis Garcia and all of his players and the 40,000 supporters in the ground tonight. They are out of the bottom 3 with their 10th win of the season. They're now up to 17th. They're a point ahead of Deportivo Alaves with 4 games to go. That is a humongous result. That's only their 2nd win in their last 5 games, and it all came from an Alexis Sanchez goal just 5 minutes after he was brought on as a half-time substitute. But you can't say they didn't deserve it. They were battling and battling that entire game. They were by far the better side. They had decent opportunities in the first half, but none of them truly troubled Alex Ramiro. But it was Sanchez's goal from the right-hand side by the edge of the 6-yard box, just powered it through the goalkeeper, who the shot was too hot for him to handle, and it ended up in the back of the net. They also had a second goal disallowed by VAR for offside, but you can just see what it means to all these players and the coaching staff. Every single one of them, they're just hugging each other. Every Sevilla player just goes over to Alexis Sanchez. They just grab him and squeeze him in a tight bear hug. The Sevilla fans are bouncing up and down, arm in arm. This stadium is genuinely shaking. It is a raucous atmosphere now after that full-time whistle at the Estadio Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. Alexis Sanchez with just his 4th goal for the club. His career has taken such a curtail since he moved to Manchester United back in 2018. He didn't score a single goal last season for Udinese, but his 4th goal in a Sevilla shirt since joining in the summer. I don't think he'll score a much bigger one than that in the rest of his Sevilla career, let alone for the rest of this season. Full time, a huge win for Sevilla. They are out of the bottom 3 in La Liga. It has finished Sevilla 1, Real Sociedad 0.